Welcome to my channel. Think happy, be happy. Subscribe and press the bell icon button. Soup from a sausage skewer in. Here was once a lady mouse who there stood talking to another lady mouse about a splendid feast that had just been held in the Mouse King's palace. It was wonderful. "I wish you had been there," she said to her friend. "I sat only 21 mice away from the Mouse King. We had fantastic food. There was stale bread for starters and wax candle for the main course. Pudding was the most delicious. Moldy sausages. In the end there wasn't anything left except the skewers that the sausages had been stuck on for grilling." Then everyone started talking about the old recipe, soup made from sausage skewers. We had all heard of the soup, but no one had actually ever tasted it or made it themselves. Then the Mouse King stood up, and guess what he promised? He said that the lady mouse who could make the tastiest soup a sausage skewer would be his bride. He would give us a year and a day to find out the recipe and practice making it. "Oh," gasped the second lady mouse. "How exciting." "Well, of course everyone wants to be his bride," said the first mouse, but in the end only 4 lady mice had the courage to say they would go out into the world to search for the recipe. We will have to wait and see how they get on. And a day later, the Mouse King ordered everyone to gather in his palace kitchen. A great crowd arrived, to find that only 3 of the brave lady mice who had been traveling were there. Nobody knew what had happened to the 4th. Everyone stood in silence, waiting excitedly, and then the king beckoned the first lady mouse traveler forward. "Tell me your story," he ordered. "I boarded a ship, for I thought that the cook must have traveled to many far-off countries and learned about strange recipes," she squeaked. "But he knew nothing of how to make soup from a sausage skewer. We sailed to a strange land and I went ashore and asked all the creatures I came across. No one had heard of the recipe. I even met some elves, but they didn't know either," the little mouse sighed. "Although they showed me how to do this." She held up her sausage skewer, touched the Mouse King with it, and it blossomed with beautiful violets, one after another. She waved it as though she were conducting music and suddenly the sound of cooking arose. Pots simmered, pans bubbled, kettles whistled, and all sorts of tasty smells filled the air. "That is as far as I got with my soup," she finished sadly. "If that is all," said the Mouse King disappointedly, "let's hear from the next lady mouse." "My family live in a library," she began. "We nibble away at all the books and so we are extremely clever. My old grandma was sure that in one of the books was written, 'Anyone who can make soup out of a sausage skewer is a poet.' I asked her what I needed to do to become a poet. My grandma said that poets need to be clever, and to have a big imagination and plenty of feeling. I thought I could find all that in the library books. So I read my way through everything. I learned so much that I am sure I became clever. My imagination grew enormous. I read so many stories that I felt every feeling under the sun. At last, I was certain that I must be a poet. I thought over everything I knew about sausages and skewers and soup, and I wrote a long poem about it. And that is my soup." "In that case," said the Mouse King, "we will hear what the third mouse has to say." "Squeak, squeak," cried a little mouse dashing in at the kitchen door. It was the 4th traveler. "I am sorry I am late," she interrupted, quite out of breath. "I traveled far. away on a train and ended up in a prison. There were hundreds of men there, but none knew how to make soup from a sausage skewer. The prison warder caught me and trapped me in a cage where I had to run in a wheel, round and round all day. I was there so long I thought I would never get out again. But one day the prison warder's daughter took pity on me and freed me. I scampered away from the prison and came to a high tower. A wise owl lived there, and so I peeped from a safe hole in the wall and asked if she knew how to make soup from a sausage skewer. I must say, the answer surprised me. She told me it is not a real recipe at all, just a human saying. She said it means make something out of nothing. I thought about this for a long time and finally decided that it must be the truth. So this is what I bring you, not soup, but the truth. Then the third lady mouse piped up. That is all wrong, she said. I can prepare the soup, and I will do it now. Please do, said the king, very curious. I did not travel, said the third mouse. I did not get my knowledge from elves, nor books, nor owls. I have got it all from simply thinking and using my head. Now, will someone set the kettle on the fire? Pour the water in quite full, right up to the brim. Now we wait until the water comes to the boil. There, I throw in my sausage skewer. And now will the Mouse King be pleased to dip his tail into the boiling water and stir it round? The longer the king stirs it, the stronger the soup will become. Nothing more is needed, only to stir it. Can't anyone else do this? Asked the Mouse King nervously, looking at the bubbling, steaming water. No, said the third lady mouse firmly. The power is contained in your tail only, and no one else's, exclaiming, "Oh, certainly, by all means, you must be my queen. And the soup is so special that we won't make it now, we will save it for our 50th anniversary and have it then at a feast for everyone." Very soon the wedding took place. But many of the mice, as they were returning home, said that the soup could not be properly called soup from a sausage skewer, but soup from a mouse's tail. What do you think? Please subscribe my channel and encourage me to upload more videos.
Like, comment, share, subscribe and press the bell icon and never miss another update.